already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Hey, what up, man? What's going on? Good morning, Rochester. Good morning, Western New York. Good morning to those digitally hanging out with us. We appreciate you for being here live with us. We appreciate you when you come on the podcast. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Make sure when you're coming in, we appreciate you all for being with us. Make sure to like us, subscribe to us. Costs you nothing, means everything in the world to us. Go ahead and hit us up on YouTube, Real Deal Sports Show. Hit us up on the book, Facebook. Hey, we got you there. Check out the Radman on Twitter. Follow us. Get all the late breaking news before it hits the studios, man. We got you here. I'm the Fanatic. Excited to be with you this morning. Hey, Radman, J-GILLZ, backsman on the 1 and 2s. Radman, number one, how you feeling, man? Where you at, Radman? I know you traveling everywhere. Where you at?
Oh, man, back from the road, man. The road, you got back in late Thursday night, man. Had a great time in Vegas, man, early in the week, man, on those machines after everything, the dust that settled and the celebrities and everybody, big-time celebrities started flying out. Those private jets were packed at this private airline. Man, you should have saw how they were lined up, man. They couldn't even fit another one in. But it was a great week. Hats off to the host committee there in Las Vegas. The Super Bowl host committee did an outstanding job rolling out the red carpet. They threw down. They made us welcome and had a great time in Las Vegas. And an excellent Super Bowl, excellent halftime show. Everything went right. You didn't hear any too much negativity at all, except for the losing team, of course. But other than that, it was a great time. Right, J-GILLZ?
Oh, absolutely. Good morning to the Real Deal family. Yeah, man, what a great time in Vegas. But Fanatic already know what time it is, man. Next year, it's going to be crazy.
Hey, welcome to the Bayou, man. We ready for you. Check out LSU. We're going to be having some great events connected with the host committee down there in the good old New Orleans, man. Super Bowl, what's that, 59 next year, I think it is? 59. We're going to be down there, man. Hey, we're going to learn, we're going to teach some people some Roman numerals and what that looks like. We're going to get it in down there. Frenchman, Trombone Shorty, Bourbon Street, LSU campus is going to be all the way live. Heck, we might be doing the broadcast live from Tiger Stadium. Just so y'all know, we got the real life Tiger right outside Tiger Stadium. Mike the Tiger might be joining us for a broadcast or two down there, man. We ready for it, man. But y'all look good. So, hey, let's jump into it. I know we got some great interviews getting ready to come up. J-GILLZ, I'm going to start with you first, man. Just give your overall thoughts, recapping the Super Bowl, and then go ahead, just give us a little recap of the NFL season in your eyes. What was important? What stood out?
Man, what stood out to me is just I think the whole the whole NFL is in trouble. For Patrick Mahomes to just go and run that gauntlet and to just come out successful after that, after his no 1,000-yard receivers, after Travis Kelce couldn't hit 1,000 yards, after the receivers led the league in drops, after Chris Jones done held out for the first couple of games, after all of this adversity, and yet still the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs still go and beat my Dolphins in frigid temperatures. They go on the road and beat Josh Allen. They go on the road and beat Lamar Jackson. They go and get the number one seed, the NFC. I mean, Mahomes right now, he just knocked out both of the MVP getters. It would have been unanimous for Lamar Jackson. One guy voted for Josh Allen. Beat them both. And then went and beat Shanahan with all those All-Pros. Man, I'm very, very scared for the rest of the NFL right now. I'm very nervous. Who's to say that the Chiefs can't get a Mike Evans, a Patrick Mahomes, or T. Higgins? I'm even scared that Tyreek might retire and then go back to Kansas City. I'm very nervous right now. Lord forbid that happen. Man, the NFL it's over for the NFL for the foreseeable future. And that's what I witnessed after that amazing Super Bowl.
Ooh, that's a real rad, man. Your thought? What are your thoughts from the game, and what are your thoughts from the overall season?
I thought once again Kyle Shanahan showed his poor coach. Kyle Shanahan is the problem. That's what we came back after the debacle with Atlanta, when Atlanta was up 28-3 against New England in the Super Bowl, and he still hasn't learned. It's something he's just stubborn, man. And then they lost. They were a couple. Was the Super Bowl against Kansas City in 2020 in Miami, up by 10 points. Up by 10 points again. Your offense is struggling. I don't know why he wants to get quarterbacks and then don't run the football, don't help them out. He tried to get the quarterback to win the game with a passing game. Why are you still throwing the ball when you see your defense was playing well enough to win the game? Your offense is shit. It came down to Kyle Shanahan. And then at the end, when they said they didn't really know the rules, man, shouldn't he be fired, man? If you don't know the damn rules, man, of the playoffs, man, come on. I ain't never heard nobody in a professional sport in a big game like that don't know the overtime rules and don't know how they work and how they would benefit your team the most. That's just Kyle Shanahan all the way. And he got the audacity to fire the black man, Steve Wilkes. Really,
we just
man?
Heard from him. Great interview last week.
Yeah, I was ready to play it again this week. I know he cussing this week, man. I mean, how the man going, how you going to fire Steve Wilkes? And he did his job all season, and he did his job in the playoffs, and you did not do your job, but you, the typical white man, going to fire the black man when the white man is at fault. Come on, man. You wonder why we pissed off? You read all the different columns across America when I got back, and I didn't even know because we didn't have Kalen, what's our guy? What's the announcer that do every football game? What's his name?
My man, Kevin Harlan?
Kevin Harlan, thank you. They got the only thing they got cheap with the Super Bowl. They didn't give us the headsets no more, the transistor radios, so that we could hear the radio broadcast. Only time when I went to the bathroom, it had it on in the bathroom. They had it on in the intercom there. I could hear Kevin Harlan calling the play-by-play. And we didn't know how. I didn't know until I got back home that Greenlaw, I guess he ripped his Achilles running out onto the field. Man, come on, when did that happen? I didn't know Andy Reid got pushed by Travis Kelce to after the game. I didn't know what they were talking about in the postgame. Man, the guy pushed you, man. What was that about? I was like, well, what do you mean he pushed him? I mean, what? I didn't know what they were talking about until I saw it, all because we don't have the transistor. We don't know what the hell is going on the field as when we're watching the game. We know we're watching it in the stands. We're taking our notes and everything, but we don't get to hear. They need to give us the transistor radios back so that we can hear what's actually going on and what's being, because Kevin Harlan them had, just at the end of the game, before we went down the post game, Kevin Harlan was making some good points about things that took place there at the end of the game. So it was just interesting that I didn't know Greenlaw did. So Greenlaw, did he play at all?
Yeah,
he played the first half.
Yeah, but it was the wildest thing. You know how after the kickoff, everybody just transitioned onto the field. And as soon as they showed it, you hear Jim Nantz. You know, he got that voice too. Oh, my God. You guys won't believe what happened while you guys were at a commercial break. And as soon as you saw Greenlaw, we've seen it all now. It looked exactly like the KD. You could see the reverberation on the back of the left leg. And I'm like, oh, shoot. He just tore his Achilles running onto the field, man. I feel horrible for him on that. But, yeah, he played like the first half. But, Rab, man, that's interesting. Isn't it in some stadium, don't you have TVs in some of these stadiums? Like in Buffalo?
They got big time screens there. Oh, man, the screens were beautiful. You can see the replays, but we didn't see that play. They didn't show a lot of the they didn't show the pregame. They showed the highlights during the game, the replays of the plays, but they didn't show that play. And we had no idea that Greenlaw was in, because he made. I thought I heard his name called. I thought I heard him say tackle by Greenlaw. So I thought he made some tackles, or were in on some tackles in the first half. So
he was hyped early.
Yeah, so obviously the word didn't come down to us, the media, that the guy was injured, that the guy was hurt running out onto the field, but he still got out there and made a few plays, and that just shows you sometimes you just don't know when those injuries will come up. And that injury, he probably been dealing with a bad ankle, and he probably been trying to keep it taped up in the whole 9 yards to finish the season, and it just gave out at the wrong time. Yeah. It's a good turf, a good grass field. They let it rain. It rained all week. It rained on. They let the field stay outside. The rain was on it for 3 days, so that grass was softening up a bit. So that field was really in excellent condition. So it had nothing to do with the field. It was just a bad break. Sounds a bad situation for Greenlaw in that moment. And the defense, everybody else, Fred Warner, those guys played a hell of a game. I thought San Francisco should have stuck with McCaffrey and ran the ball a little more. I thought running the ball was really good. Chris Jones blew up some of those plays, but then They should have went back to it. They didn't. To me, they didn't stick with it long enough. They put too much on Purdy, and Purdy just let them down, just like Jimmy Garoppolo, Mr. Steroid himself now. PED, Jimmy G. Yeah, man. PED couldn't help him out.
Yeah. Just for those who don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo just got popped, suspended for the first 2 games of the 2024 NFL season. That's what Radman's referencing. But it's nothing. Hey, we don't want to hear from Jimmy Garoppolo, do we, fellas? We want to hear about from an MVP quarterback, MVP of the league, MVP of the Super Bowl. He may sound like Kermit the Frog, but that's a bad man. Pat Mahomes. I do kind of want to hear from Pat Mahomes Sr. That's another subject for a different day. But Pat Mahomes, the son, the $500 million man, the man, just doing it all up. We got an interview coming in here from Super Bowl MVP Pat Mahomes. Let's hear what he had to say about the game.
About the adversity and come out better on the other side. And I think it prepared us for the playoffs. Obviously, we've had a lot of great playoff runs, but this is going to be up there because just the way that we kind of continue to battle whenever times weren't great. Tonight, I'm going to celebrate at the parade, and then I'm going to do whatever I can to be back in this game next year and try to go for that three-peat. So it's an ongoing thing in the NFL. I think Tom said it best. Once you win that championship, you have those parades and you get those rings, you're not the champion anymore. You get to come back with that same mentality. And I learned from guys like that that have been the greatest of all time at the top of the level. That's my mindset is I'm going to celebrate with my guys how we've done this. But then we're going to work our way to get back to this game next year.
There you have it. Live we're back to the Rock Palm Broker Studios where we broadcast from every week, live from Rock Palm Broker Studios. You heard Patrick Mahomes. Guys, what's your comments on him saying after the parade he's gonna get right back to he's gonna start grinding again?
Yeah, that to me, hey, that's where champions are made. Folks want to go vacation with their family, totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. There's a score of the game, there's a game of life, but there's a price to pay if you want to be the absolute elite of the elite. Hey, we talking about always joining the elite in different phases of your life. Hey, to be elite, there comes with sacrifices, and you got to outwork your peers, and you got to be disciplined, and you truly got to be committed. And Pat Mahomes embodies all of that. So amazing to see, man. He really is a champion of all champions right now in all sports.
Absolutely. If your name's not Joe Burrow or possibly Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean? Then I'm very, very scared of Patrick Mahomes. I'll reiterate that.
Aaron Rodgers. What?
Yeah. Possibly. I want to see that
coming off an Achilles for the New York Jets.
I want to see that matchup in that. I want to see that matchup. He's never faced him. I want to see that matchup.
The only dude Pat Mahomes ever lost to was Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. That's the only cat. Remember, he beat him in the Super Bowl. He beat him when Tom Brady was with Tampa. Beat him in New England. Man, Aaron Rodgers, come on.
Yo guy, LSU.
My man, the true immortal. Hey, but these mortal cats like Aaron Rodgers, he ain't gonna be able to sniff it, man. He ain't gonna be ready for it, man. But
I don't know about that one. But hey, guys, let's go to the defensive side of the ball and hear what Justin Reid had to say about their defense and how they came back to this season and also to win another Super Bowl.
Battling through the adversity of the year and then having it all surmount to where we are right now. Just unbelievable feeling. Not only cerebrally intelligent, but also physically dominant across the board. Corner, safety, linebacker, D-line. Guys know the checks and calls, and guys play hard. Like, there's nobody who's scared to tackle out there. You want to run the ball to the edge, our corner's going to cut you in half. You want to run it down the middle, safeties and linebackers coming downhill. So you match that with the ability of what Spags puts together in the game plan each week and the checks and alerts that we put in, and it just puts us in a position to be successful.
Was your procedure trying to get Purdy off the spot tonight? Is that one of the objectives of your defensive game plan?
Absolutely. You can't let a guy as talented as he is just sit comfortably in the pocket. You can't let any quarterback in the NFL sit comfortably in the pocket. So we found ways to get pressure on him. We made sure that when he escaped the pocket, we didn't let him beat us with his legs.
There you have it. Justin Reid. Hey, yeah, he brought up a good point. His team didn't have nobody that's afraid to make a tackle. How many times you see guys have afraid to make a tackle and put their shoulder and don't wrap up? Kansas City, that's one thing. They wrapped McCaffrey up. When they did get a hold of him, they wrapped him up. And that's amazing. Chris Jones is like 6'8", 6'9". He doesn't look that strong. But, man, it's got to be his technique because he's always pushing the offensive lineman backwards. I mean, he pushed whoever. I don't know. I think it was Feliciano, the former Buffalo Bill. Man, he had him in the backfield one time. I mean, he just. It was like before the guy could barely hand the ball off. John Feliciano all in the backfield. No wonder he was concerned about Chris Jones all week.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. And to me, that Chiefs defense, that to me, and who needs to get more credit, we're going to talk about Pat Mahomes, Chris Jones, Justin Reed, Kelsey, Hardman. We need to talk more about Steve Spagnuolo. That dude, man, he deserved more love as a defensive coordinator. May not be a head coach, but that's all right. He is a great defensive coordinator, and he always seems to bring his best when it is most needed. Because for those who don't remember, again, Tom Brady is my guy. The only person to really stop Tom Brady again was Steve Spagnuolo, man, in those Patriot years, and when Steve Spagnuolo was the DC of the Giants, and so Brady did get him at the end there with our last big run when we beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, getting through Kansas City, the only playoff game Pat Mahomes has really lost besides the Super Bowl to again Brady as a Buccaneer. But Steve Spagnuolo, man, he gets some dogs, and I love his scheming. You can tell Purdy was looking. He wasn't really sure. And Purdy, unlike what Lamar wanted to see, Purdy was like, I'm not really sure. I'm taking off and running. And they were really right there for him. Purdy, to me, didn't play too badly. He played all right. But it was more about not what Purdy didn't do. It was more about what Steve Spagnuolo actually did. And he deserves more credit. What you think, J-GILLZ?
Oh, yeah, I got to agree with it. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they stayed consistent to who they were all season. They were number 2 in the league in sacks. Like you said, Spags knows how to get after the quarterback, and they didn't give him any help, as the Radman said, with Kyle Shanahan in that play calling, especially in that second half. What I'm most disappointed about is not to go off topic, but, you know, when you're talking about the turnovers that the 49ers are able to have, you know what I mean? And you got to give the Chiefs credit for that defense for stopping them. I mean, in that second half, Patrick Mahomes, a very uncharacteristic interception to start the third quarter, and then for the Chiefs defense to know where they were and just completely dump on the 49ers offense, held them to 0 points after those turnovers. You got to give them credit where credit is due, and I think that eventually they'll continue this. They got a lot of free agents, though. A lot of free agents that they're going to have to worry about. McDuffie, Larry Sneed, those quarterback positions. So they're definitely going to have to retool, regroup. But Spags got the job done as he always does.
Yeah, and I would just say, Rab, I'm going to pass it right to you, too. But, speaking of Jerry Sneed, that Trent McDuffie, first-round cornerback, I mean, when I saw him a couple times out of Washington. These cats, I love when they put the seatbelts on, that they locking these cats up. Debo looked up. He thought he had a touchdown. He wanted to complain for a touchdown, for a flag. I think it was like a second down. Purdy threw it into the end zone, and it looked like he could have got Debo Samuel. See, he had a little bit of a step, but the technique it was like a little finger roll. These cats, I like calling those defensive backs. They the finger roll crew. It looked like you got to beat them right at the last minute. They always seem to put their hand up and just knock the ball smoothly away. And I love it. They put the seatbelt right on it. But they DBs really, really have been taught very well against Spagnuolo and some great players. Brad, man, what you thinking?
In my article in this week's Challenger Community News that's out on the newsstands now, which has Malcolm X on the cover. In my article, I mentioned I had Trent McDuffie as the MVP of the game. I thought he made not only that play against Samuels, he had a couple other deep balls that he was able to. Ayuk, he was on him one time, knocked the ball away from him. I thought he played an outstanding game. I thought that was his best game as a Kansas City Chief in the playoffs. Trent McDuffie was just outstanding with his, like you said, he was just relaxed. He was with the guy. It looked like the offensive receiver was going to make the play, and at the last second, he would put his hand up and tip the ball away. Ball away. I thought outstanding performance by Trent McDuffie. And we're going to go to the interview with Chris Jones to hear what Chris Jones had to say. And he talks about Spags in this interview as well.
With the new rules change that both teams are able to receive the ball, I would definitely kick the ball, try to stop the other team, hold them to 3, or make them punt, and then all I got to do is kick the field.
Did you guys talk through it? Like that's what we were talking about?
We talked through this 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, we talked about the new overtime rule and how we was going to give the ball to the opponent. If they scored, we was going for 2 at the end of the game. We kind of rehearsed it, and
Chris, how do you feel
Spags is to go. Spags is going to go down as a defensive coordinator Hall of Famer. Absolutely.
Can you sum up what the season means personally, and then as a team aspect, what does this season mean to go back to back?
I think anytime you play the game, your ultimate goal is to win a ring, right? Well, for me, that's my ultimate goal, and the success will comes within that, within pouring out everything, each and every game, and giving it to your teammates, whether it's knowledge, whether it's commitment to stay up after practice, always guiding those young guys. And this is what you guys work for, man. This is what we work for. The late days after practice, everybody runs in. You have to stay out, get extra handwork, and we was able to accomplish that.
Chris, in the context of this season, is this more satisfying?
I didn't even hear.
In the context of this season, is this one more satisfying?
Absolutely, man. Just the journey we had to take, I think, is more satisfying than the previous Super Bowl.
There you have it. And that was Jared Bell with some of those questions, earlier questions on Chris Jones. And like he said, Spags should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. But you did notice he said about practice, after practice, the hand drills and things. No one of those guys, you mentioned, we just talked about the hand drill, Trent McDuffie's hands. Those guys work on that after practice. They stay on the field. They even discussed the overtime rules for the last 2 weeks going into this game, what the new overtime rules meant, how they were going to attack it. You didn't hear Shanahan say anything about them discussing the overtime rule. He said like he didn't know what the hell was going on. And then he had the nerve to say he didn't know what was going on. So what that tell you? Andy Reid outcoached this guy inside out. He undressed this man in the overtime game. And that's the real reason why Kansas City was able to win. The coaching. Chris Jones said it best. They practiced this. They worked on it for 2 whole weeks. The overtime rule, also staying on the field, working with their hands, being able to make plays, and that's just makes a better team.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. To me, the coaching aspect of it, I think we needed something to talk about. Let's be real, fellas. How much bearing did the decision that the 49ers took the ball, how much bearing did that have on the game? I think it had some of it, but to me, it was really the first half. Pat Mahomes, he didn't know what was going on in the first half. That defense was really pounding Kansas City. Yes, Kansas City can come back, but at some point, man, that Kansas City was left to still be kind of mull around. I think more or less the game was really lost in those first. Christian McCaffrey, big fumble on the first drive. I mean, they were driving. Kansas City then returns their favoritism. I really thought San Fran should have started putting their foot on the neck to say, hey, y'all might be the champs, but we here. We're going to throw y'all out the club, and y'all going to stay out the club every time. Hey, but I feel like, to me, the overtime, yes, was a big thing. That's something to talk about. I get it. But to me, I think the 49ers really lost the game in the first half of the game by letting the champs stay around. J-GILLZ, what you thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. As I highlighted, when you get those key turnovers, man, aren't able to capitalize off of that, that's a huge problem when it comes to the offense, especially an offense that's loaded with talent like the 49ers offense. And you got a guy like Kyle Shanahan who's supposed to be this guru and this GOAT at play calling. He's shown us time and time again that when the biggest moments come, he just folds every single time. So, I absolutely agree with that.
Yep, beautiful.
Yes,
Rabbit, we know how you feel with it, but just your overall thoughts again with the 49ers and the Chiefs before we move on.
One last thing. The Chiefs, what Mahomes said, he's grinding. He wants a three-peat. I'll keep an eye out on him. You don't know about injuries. You don't know who the free agent's going to be. Chiefs most likely going to sign most of their players. I would think they would sign most of these guys. Chris Jones probably won't have to sit out, but he'll probably sit out anyway a few games early on and then come back to the Chiefs. Because you could tell he likes playing in Kansas City. And all those guys seem to like playing in Kansas City. They like the atmosphere. They like what's going on. And I thought some prayers out to people that happened at the parade earlier in the week. Sound like some juveniles, some other kids acting up out there. I tell you, America, do something about the guns. Get these guns off the street. Get the AKs, all this. Go back to where you had it back in the 80s and 90s. You can't have those artillery weapons out on the street. And what's happening in these communities across America just happened at the parade on Tuesday or Wednesday, showing you this happens every day. People meet up with each other, and they start shooting, and they don't have no respect for who's around, standing around, or just happen to be walking by when you pulling a gun out trying to shoot at Joe Blow, and you ain't got no target practice, don't know how to handle a gun, and this is what happens. Innocent people get shot up, and it's a shame. America, we still dealing with this.
Yep.
Congress, come on. Why are we still dealing with this? You can see it's wrong.
Come on. Yeah, bipartisan, I don't know what is it going to take, man. But Radman, thank you for bringing that up. It is sad because most of the kids who were hit were kids. Under 16-year-olds, man. And one who was a DJ, the one woman that died was a DJ there locally. It's just all the way sad. America, well, I don't care what you look at. Black, white, left, right, poor, rich. We don't need to be worried about every day at the grocery store in Buffalo because, we always dedicate this and salute to the Buffalo 10. We always will. You don't need to be worried about being in the grocery store, at a mall, at a victory parade for your team to worry about if you're going to be shot and killed that day. We got to do something with the guns. Congressmen, elected officials, lobbyists, we all got to come together. And I know I'm going to do my part on the educational side. We need to help these kids believe in themselves to know that they have a future. Because to me, to be pulling out a gun, that means you don't care about your future or anybody else's around you. You need to have some more excitement about your own prospects as an adult.
Absolutely. J-GILLZ, your comments.
Just a very tragic thing. It's unfortunate. And, at my job where, I work in the criminal justice, it's really is a pandemic. It's a pandemic and something has to be done. And, each and every November time comes around, that's our chance to try and vote, change legislation, try and get people in office who will abide by the things in which the community needs. So, I just urge everybody to continue to vote locally, vote for who you feel is the best, whether it be the law, the county, the city, but legislation starts at the very smallest levels. And that's if you want to see true change, then that's the only way that we can get it. So I just encourage everybody to just continue to research, vote, and make your voice heard.
Amen and Ashe. I love that. Hey, let's go to a more hopeful. I think most people felt a more exciting piece. Took me back to my childhood, man. Here's some confessions, some 8701 album, man. Took me back. Usher Raymond got on the stage. He brought it out. My girl, her, Alicia Keys. I know Swifty probably still on the phone talking to Usher about, wait a minute, we didn't practice all that. Man, he brought a Jermaine Dupri. Hey, thoughts on the halftime show. J-GILLZ, I'll start with you, then go to Radman.
Man, well, first and foremost, when I first saw it, I'm watching, I said, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm looking at the rollerblade and I'm looking at the Cirque du Soleil. I see everybody coming out, her and the Alicia Keys, stopped a bit, then Lil Jon. I was hoping for some lovers and friends. They ain't give us lovers and friends.
My wife said the same thing. I said that was too slow.
For some lovers and friends, I would have shut it down completely. But I definitely think that this was a top 5 Super Bowl. But then afterwards, I'm like, dang, Usher got a lot of hits. It was a little bit all over the place for me. I still enjoyed it in the moment for sure. But when people talk about the best halftime show of all time, I can't say the best halftime show of all time. Maybe top 5, definitely possibly top 5. But I even looked back and saw some other things. And man, if I feel like if Usher would have just teased us with just a couple of tracks, it did a little bit more versus a line from a song here, a line from a song. Nah, give us the full performance. He did that with My Boo. He did that with But just a couple. I would have enjoyed Superstar a little longer. Something like that. Lovers and Friends. But I definitely got to give him his credit, performance-wise, hands down. Phenomenal performance. Top 5 in my opinion. Top 5, not number 1. Definitely not number 1, but top 5.
I love it.
I agree. He's in my top 3. It was the smoothest show. It was number 1 for the smoothest show. Each year I sit with the international media. So I always seem to be seated with the media international folks. So I have people from Venezuela, Miami, people from outside of what was this guy? Of Caracas or somewhere. This guy next to me was a German man. I said, hey, I said, somebody in a red cat suit coming onto the field. Look, they're walking up. I said, wow, I want to do that. That guy said, oh, you think that's Diana Ross? I said, no, man. I said, not looking at a body like that. I can see that from in the dark. That body she got, man, that ain't no damn Diana Ross, man. I said, I look at her like, damn, that's all you know in the Black America, Diana Ross, man. And the girl next to her, she's laughing. She said, no, she laughed. I said, no, that's not no Diana Ross, man. She got up there. Oh, it turned out to be Alicia Keys. And, man, I mean, it was a hell of a show. And next thing I know, when he got into some of that confession stuff, the girl from Caracas, and next thing I look over, she in the aisle just throwing it, man. I said, oh, my God, man. Oh, man, he turned it out in the stands, man. Man, they threw down in the stands, man. That's how you can tell a good show, man. When you see the stands rocking and dancing, you had all those lighted items that they gave you, the light to go with the show and all that. It was a well-produced show, very well done. Usher Raymond IV did a great job. So he should be commended on doing a fantastic job. I agree with you. He went 15 minutes. It was supposed to be 13 minutes. He went 2 minutes over. And what people don't realize, they actually turned the stadium lights on, which I had never seen done before. They turned the lights on because he was that far in overtime that they said, hey, man, time to go. Because it took them a while to put that set together, too. And it took a while to break it down and get that set off the field because that was a very intricate set that they actually – it's always a puzzle piece, but it was a very intricate puzzle piece that this year that they had to set up and then break down, and all that smoke and everything they had to deal with too. Oh man, it was a hell of a show. It's in my top 3. Number 1, nobody will surpass the very first one. The very first one was Michael Jackson in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. Michael Jackson, nobody defeats the King of Pop. That was the best halftime show. And that's because Michael Jackson was so good at that halftime show. People were like, hey, people like this. Let's start having, instead, because they used to have marching bands up until then. It used to be just a regular marching band at halftime. They said, oh, wow, people really into this Michael Jackson. Let's get other stars, big name people to come and perform at the halftime show. So Michael Jackson started it all, and I still with the King of Pop. And his hair was even caught on fire before that show, too. And he still, even with burns in his scalp and all of that, he came on and turned it out at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. And just like Usher turned it out at the Allegiant Stadium, which is a great, excellent stadium. There's only 61,000 seats in there. It's a small stadium, but it got a roof on it, Pagula. They got a damn roof on it, Pagula. Pagula. Hey, people of Buffalo, make this man put a roof on your stadium out there in the middle of nowhere in the snow belt. At least this stadium was right across the street. Tell them, J-GILLZ, the stadium right across the street from Mandalay Bay with convention center where we were housed at. We were doing over. You can walk right over to the stadium. You can walk right over to the casinos. The shopping. You see the mall there? I know you were in that mall checking out some of those high-end prices, J-GILLZ, earlier in the week, man. You know the mall was right there with all the stores. Come on. They got everything you want right there. Women can go shopping. They can go to the football game. They can hang out. They got all kinds of eateries. Oh, my gosh, man. It's laid in Las Vegas. If you want to go to a game, go to Las Vegas. Check out their new stadium. They call it the spaceship because at night it lights up. It does look like a spaceship at night with all the neon lights and stuff on at night. Right off Interstate 15, right downtown. The only idiots we know is the ignorant people in the B-Low. And we call it B-Low because it's below reality. They still in 1940s over there in Buffalo, building the stadium out in the middle of nowhere. A snow belt. Got 20 feet of snow out. You can't even get to the damn stadium. Come on, man. Got people still shoveling out the old stadium. And you're going to be shoveling out the new one as well. How ignorant can you be, Buffalo? Go out there and look at this stadium. Beautiful stadium. Saw a lot of people from Buffalo there, too. Saw some Rochester. Michael Patterson. Got to give you a shout out. I see Michael Patterson from Rochester, New York. He's there every year working security. He was over at the NFL Experience working security this year. Excellent detail over there. Man, did a fine job. So Buffalo, Rochester people are there. Just tell people what a good stadium it is, what you saw, how the proximity to everything. Right, J-GILLZ?
Oh, it was right there. Everything was, you can't beat that. You know, just even driving on the expressway and seeing the end of the strip and then seeing the stadium, Mandalay Bay right there, the stadium, Allegiant right there. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful infrastructure. The way that they just laid it out was just phenomenal. They knew exactly what they was doing when they built it. They said, we're going to have a plethora of Super Bowls for years to come in Vegas. And that's exactly where they put that at, and that's exactly why.
Exactly. It's going to be another Super Bowl. I guarantee in the next 5 years, Vegas, they're going back to Vegas because it was just excellent.
I love it. I'm gonna go get back to just what I saw. You guys being there, me seeing it. I love seeing the roller skate Usher, man. That felt so Atlanta, man. It brought me back to try to be the movies like Atlanta, Roll Bounce, man. Seeing my man Usher do the singing, dancing, moving around, and doing it on the roller skate with the costume changes. That was super dope. Good to see Jermaine Dupri, Lil Jon. I know they will get a little wild with that, so enjoy that. And to me, hey, Cat Williams, man. Hey, I thought about Cat Williams. Why? Because he said Ludacris down with a certain group. Ludacris got all sort of money. We forgot about him. Ludacris everywhere, man. Ludacris even get on there and do a halftime little bit, man. Ludacris, hey, it could have been Cat Williams. Cat said, nah, I'm good. And now Ludacris get to go on there. So I was laughing to myself, laughing with my wife.
Hey, but fellas, how y'all feel about a Young Money Super Bowl next year?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's about to be turned all the way out.
Y'all ready for the Young Money?
Drizzy Drake, Nicki Minaj. Hey, you know DJ Khaled from the 504, which is New Orleans. Hey, it's about to me, Rabbit. I thought you were gonna go with the best Super Bowl. Rabbit, where is Purple Rain down in Miami with Prince with the rain literally coming down and he's killing the guitar. Rabbit, where's that performance on your list? I thought that was your number one.
No, I wasn't at that one. I didn't make that. It was 07. I started in 09. So I was just counting. But watch the ones from watching the whole night. Purple Rain one was good as well. That was a very good one. The first Beyonce one was really good as well.
Yeah, the first Beyonce joint was on point too. We got to give her fire and of course LA. Let's not forget when 50 and Kendrick did their thing.
Mary J. I still know some people looking like, who is this Mary J. Blige? You know, they wasn't sure who that was, but next year, I think it's gonna be all encompassing. Hey, and I've heard how Wayne said, I'm calling it now. It's gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be a Young Money it's gonna be a Young Money bash, but it might be a little influence. My girl T Swift might be coming in there to do a little bit throughout to really set it up to get everybody together.
Oh god.
Hey, but I digress.
Oh, and next year is going to be great. If it's anything like it was in 2013 in New Orleans, with all the artists and performances they had,
Big Boy, 2013.
Yeah, they had a lot. But I'm talking about outside at the clubs and the free shows that they had. Just in some of the free shows with Big Boy and Lil Wayne, Gary Clark Jr. and Stevie Wonder performance. That was still one of the classics of my. That's why I rate the New Orleans Super Bowl as my top one, because they really had so much entertainment and so much things to do around town. You think they had things to do in Las Vegas? Oh my gosh, man! New Orleans was off the chain in 2013. So I'm sure, and we had the guy on the show. If you would check out the YouTube Real Deal Sports Show, you'll check out some of the interview with the host committee, Marcus Brown. We spoke with him live on the show. You get to hear some of the things that they're planning for next season for New Orleans, the host committee for Super Bowl 2020, for the 2025 Super Bowl, which would be the 59th edition before it heads back to San Francisco for the 60th.
No doubt. Hey, but we got to make sure we pay some bills. We know we live from the Rock Pawnbroker Studios. Go see our friend Sammy, the crew, the whole team there. Valentine's Day just passed. Hopefully, fellas, y'all got a little bit of love on Sweetest Day. Don't forget. Hey, now you got Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day coming up, Memorial Day. Treat yourself. Go see Sam and the crew. Rock Pawnbroker, 559 State Street there in the Rock. Give them a call, 585-262-9920. And you know what it is. Rabbi, I'm going to let you talk about your girl, Miriam Rivera.
The award-winning Miriam Rivera Farmers Insurance Agency, auto, home, health, and life insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue and 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Call 585-360-0094. And let me tell you the first brand new news. There will be a third location opening up soon for Miriam Rivera Farmers Insurance Agency. A third location coming. If this lady able to open up 3 locations, she got all those trophies on her rack over there on 1038 Lyle Avenue. Hey, I want somebody that winning awards. That means they doing the job. That means they selling quality insurance. And she saved me and my family a hell of a lot of money. Hey, give Miriam Rivera a chance to save you and your family a hell of a lot of money by getting you, reducing your auto, home, and health life insurance. And she also deals with Progressive, and she's almost a broker. She's really a broker because she can sell a wide variety of other insurance companies' policies as well. So check her out. 585-360-0094. If you're outside the market, area code 585-360-0094. Merriman Rivera Insurance Agencies.
No doubt. Hey, last but not least, it's still Black History Month. Got to make sure we always still support and look at our local Black businesses. Cooperative economics, one of the Kwanzaa principles. Malcolm X on the cover. So much going on in the community. If you don't need to go to social media, you don't need to go to IG. Come right to the Challenger Community News in all the local areas, in the community spots, convenience store, churches, all the way down I-90 from Syracuse on over through Rochester, and of course in the Buffalo. Check them out. Challenger Community News, the largest weekly African-American newspaper. If you have articles to send, stuff you want to talk about and celebrate, email editor@thechallengernews.com. Hey, so fellas, I want to go ahead and talk about it. You kind of mentioned it about some of the cool things that you saw. Let's go ahead. Favorite guest, pull us behind the curtain. Favorite guest, favorite moments from Radio Row. Of course, I was following you all on your journey. What was it like, Radio Row? What was the real atmosphere out there in Vegas? What was really going on? That's something that we didn't see that you guys want to pull us behind the curtain.
Man, I'll go first. I'm very, very upset because my 2 interviews that I was supposed to get that I was very upset I didn't was one, the beautiful, talented Clarissa Shields.
Oh, the boxing sensation.
Yes,
okay.
I was supposed to get her, and she was looking really, really, really nice. I don't want to knock me out.
Hey, J-GILLZ, don't get fired, man. Hey, you married, don't get fired, my brother.
Looking really, really nice. And then Boosie, your man's from the Bayou, Boosie. You know what I mean? But I was able to connect with his people. So next year, it's already a lock on Radio Row. Boosie's definitely coming to table 85.
Absolutely. And that Clarissa Shields looking great in that blue jumpsuit. Man, I gotta give you credit. I was like, who is that? I said, oh, that's the boxing. I said, oh, now, of course, somebody over has a photo with her, so you can see somebody over has a nice picture with Clarissa Shields. She was outstanding. But the interviews, my favorite one was Bobby and Isa Avila, the Avila brothers, because I didn't know them. I never heard of them. These 2 Mexican guys, the brother Bobby Ross Avila, started out with his music and got his music played. And he was working with a guy, and Terry Lewis called the person that he was working. I can't remember who it was. And Terry Lewis said, hey, who's that playing in the background? He said, oh, this guy Bobby, he's working on some new material. He said, let me speak to him. Boom, he spoke to him. Next thing you know, he flew him out to Minneapolis, and Bobby Villa became part of one of the artists that was managed by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And it's an excellent interview. It's up on YouTube. Check it out on YouTube. You can also check it out on George Radney Facebook page or Real Deal Sports Show page as well on Facebook. And it's also up on YouTube. Check it, subscribe, like us, and share on YouTube. So check it out. The Bobby Ross Avila and his brother Isa. They wrote a lot of stuff. They wrote some of the Confessions album. They helped wrote some of the songs and produced some of the songs off of that album, and also the new album for Usher. And they also helped produce the halftime show as well, which was an outstanding performance. Meeting those guys was very nice, and they were my top pick of just meeting somebody you didn't know. And then people who I did know and interviewed before really enjoyed Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin came back on.
Pee-wee champ.
Yeah, the Pee-wee champ. That's right. He's still hyped about that Pee-wee league he played in, and I guess he dominated it the way he was talking. Never did give a position that he played, but he was dominant in that league. The Kirk Franklin interview was very nice, and that's also on YouTube. Check it out. Go to the Real Deal Sports Show. Click on live. It's a plethora of interviews. Check out the Kirk Franklin one as well. That was a very good interview. Mary was great. Good seeing them too. Yeah,
he had all the jokes. Kirk had all the jokes. It was hilarious. It was a great interview. A lot of AEW guys too, for those wrestler fans. Had a lot of great content.
The guy came there looking like Sting, man, and he even had a belt with him, man. Whoever that cat was, I knew he wasn't Sting. I said, "Damn, well, that's not Sting."
Darby Allin, he's the AEW World Tag Team Champion. His partner is Sting. So,
really?
They hold the belts together.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Because he was looking like him. I said, man, look like a poor man version of Sting, man. He was up there.
But he did his thing. A lot of women came through. You know, we get very excited. March being Women's History Month, you know, we got a lot of great content coming y'all's way. But we got to shout out the ladies too. The star of Breakpoint, the young lady there who played in King Richard. We had Tamala Jones, great actress, in Next Friday, and we had just LaToya London, great woman from American Idol. So the women showed up. They showed up and it came through.
She sure did. LaToya London was excellent too. We interviewed so many people you can't remember all of them, but LaToya London was excellent. The other lady, the actress from the various Next Friday movies, she was hilarious.
Tamala Jones.
Yes, she was funny, man. She was really
Dr. Tandra, Dr. Rhonda Wood, Dr. Kim Battle, just some great people all throughout.
Yes, and we not only was talking sports, a lot of those doctors were talking mental health issues. So it'd be great if you got time where you have mental health issues or concerns, please subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at Real Deal Sports Show, and then click on it on YouTube and go down, click on live and go down, and you'll see these various interviews. And the ones on mental health and Dr. Tandra Price and the Dr. Battles of Dr. Rhonda Woods, they were very excellent with their, and these are international people. They travel all over the world speaking on these topics, which was excellent to have on the show. I also want to thank Onstage Production, David and Bernadette Watts, for an outstanding job and also helping to bring some of these people on. And also ex-NBA player Craig Stover. Man, the guy about 6'9", 6'10". His son played in the NBA. He played in the NBA itself. His son played for the Lakers. What was that, J-GILLZ?
Anthony Stover. His son, Anthony Stover, played for the Lakers in the G League. Those are the dog days of the Lakers, but we leaned on guys like Anthony Stover.
Right.
You ain't never lied.
And he has a nice training program. Look him up, Craig Stover. Google him. You can find his information. And also check out the interview that we had, because he has a nice basketball camp where he's getting kids into colleges and playing. He got like 9 kids playing at Harvard because he's a good friend of Tommy Amaker, the former Duke star player. He's good friends with Tommy Amaker, getting players over to Harvard, getting them at all different colleges throughout the country. And that's funny, when I was flying back when I was leaving on Thursday, I left with the baseball team, but they were going out to Stockton. And of course, I was heading to Chicago, so I got to talk with some of those young boys. College baseball started on Friday. They were playing at Pacific, and then they went on to play Stanford this weekend. They were telling me. So, hey, out west, I'm looking out the door now. It's snowing heavily out here right now. They're not playing no ball here, but they damn sure playing ball on the West Coast, man.
Well, and they definitely have. They playing it down here in the South too. LSU, we had our home opener with our man. What a great team we had last year. The reigning, defending national champions of the college baseball world, LSU. We had our home opener. So, hey, yeah, you're right, man. It's just geographic. It is what it is. But hey, man, our northeastern schools definitely had a disadvantage to us in the South and the West Coast.
Hey guys, don't forget All-Star Saturday night.
Hey, come on, J-GILLZ. You got to talk Brown,
next superstar in the dunk contest. Got to give him his props.
Hey guys, can you do me a favor? Next time you see Isaiah Stewart, tell him he don't have to act like he's still in Rochester. He ain't in Rochester, New York no more, man. He ain't got to act like he over on Conkey Ave or somewhere, or Thurston Road somewhere, walking up to somebody, slugging somebody. Man, come on, man. How you gonna meet some dude in the hallway on the man going his way to the locker room? Then you beef. Obviously, it was some beef about something. And then when the security break it up, you gonna sucker punch the guy. If that allegedly happened, that we don't know what happened. I wasn't there.
Allegedly.
I just see it allegedly. You arrest the man. I ain't never seen some. And then I said, "Oh, that's right. He's from Rochester. Okay, all right. That made some sense to it."
LeBron James, Draymond Green. He's very consistent. You ain't gonna punk Isaiah Stewart.
Nah, hey, he represented the 585. He said, "Hey, man, at only 22 years old, hey, just to be fair, he's a young person, just 22 years old, making his way." But yeah, hey, Isaiah, man, friend of the show, man, local, and also Rochesterian. We love you, my man. Don't be costing yourself some money. Don't be getting yourself in trouble. And whatever this Drew Eubanks said, it ain't worth it, my man. It ain't worth it. Hey, to me, to punch somebody walking into the game, not after the game. The LeBron James, all right, that was crazy. But hey, he got elbowed. He saw blood. All right, I can kind of understand it. You walking into the game. What happened? Y'all was at the club last night trying to talk to the same woman. Hey, she did whatever, maybe did whatever, and now you mad you see him again. Hey, that just seemed real personal to me, man. I don't know. What is Isaiah? Like Radman said, not on Conkey Ave. Let's make sure, hey, you represent yourself, your family, the NBA, but just as important, you representing the Rock, man. No need to be punching somebody on the way into the stadium. Come on, man.
In street clothes. Y'all in street clothes, man. Come on, man. Come on. J-GILLZ, the man you got to be professional. I agree with you. The thing with LeBron and Draymond, hey, man, you go ahead. But do it on the court, man. Just like in football, they did it on the field, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they have two different. That's why they have two different interests in football. Because guys wanted to get at it near the end of that game, man. You saw a lot of guys, man. Guys, when the time was running out, oh man, guys were trying to get at you, but they go in a different locker. Oh, except for Buffalo, of course. Excuse me. Below reality, they'd only stadium that both teams won't leave in the same concourse area to leave the field. But some guys had to be separated. But in basketball, guys got to be separated. But do it on the court. If you're gonna get into it, you give the guy an elbow back or whatever. You nail him or whatever, like that big guy did the other night against the Golden State. He was throwing haymakers at somebody, man, acting like he tried to get the ball. And I was surprised Golden State didn't jump on him, man. I mean, he did the guy worse than Poole got done by Green, man. And Golden State went back to the bench. I said, damn, how come Golden State didn't go after that big guy, man? Even Draymond Green was saying, oh, man. They all walked through it. Draymond Green at least did go up there to say something to him, man. At least he did the enforcer thing. But come on, man. You do it on the court. Don't do it in the tunnel, man. Walking to the guy, you walking to the locker room with your Gucci bag and all that, man. Come on, man.
No doubt. Hey, well, I want to make sure, I know we read up against time here. Hey, that NBA All-Star Weekend, man, enjoy it. So many great festivities. I can't wait for the 3-point shooting contest. Always some great fun with that. I love that we are introduced and continue to elevate. I love seeing my girl Asia Wilson. I love that the NBA is now infusing more of the women in the WNBA because they got a lot of great stars there, man. So it is beautiful. Asia Wilson, best-selling author, now love what she did at South Carolina. The reigning back-to-back champion for the Las Vegas Aces, man. Amazing. Kelsey Plum just got a record broken by Caitlin Clark. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. She's coming back, or she broke the record for most total points in college basketball history at the University of Iowa, shooting it from the parking lot for real. And the crazy thing, she can come back and do it and continue to build on her lead next year if she wants to. Man, the WNBA is in such great hands. And I'm excited for Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu, the 3-point shootout that's going to happen tonight. Dunk contest, but at least the skills challenge and the 3-point shootout is always a good time. Brad, man, any events that you really like on All-Star Weekend?
Oh, just what you just said. Right across the street from the stadium, right by the mall and everything, right at the mall where you're coming in and out, they got a big color poster of the champion Las Vegas Aces, Asia Wilson. They really shows that it was really well done, very tasteful, and they show them as champions, the champions that they are. And NBA weekend, I'm just looking forward to just seeing the actual game itself and seeing what transpires, who's playing, and this. And they run up the score. It's more of an offensive show, not much defense. It should be a good time in Indianapolis. Glad Indianapolis has the NBA All-Star Weekend, a very hot basketball marketplace. So it should be a great time there. I know my guy Steve. I can't think of Steve, but Steve would be a Charlie Hustle. People in Rochester, we call him Charlie Hustle out of Rochester, New York. He got transferred with the GM plant down there to Indianapolis. I know he's there all this weekend. Charlie Hustle. And he also got named to the board of the NAACP down there in the Indianapolis area. So congratulations to Charlie Hustle on another great. He's making Rochester proud, doing all the fine things he's doing down there in the Indianapolis area.
No doubt. And one thing, of course, that we always want to salute, this one definitely hits home to us, especially all of them do, but somebody who made Rochester truly an amazing place. We lost one of the best men, women, anybody, any type of person. We lost one of the best men in the history of Rochester, Mr. Bob Burris, a Rochester legend, a philanthropist, someone who gave money back, a volunteer, philanthropist. Thank you, Radman. Philanthropist, photographer, an amazing father to his biological kids and the kids in all the neighborhood in the 19th Ward. Yeah, if you don't know, of course, he was a big-time administrator at Kodak. Bob Burris, around his family, though, made his transition earlier this week. He's going to have a celebration of life wake this coming Thursday at Enon Church. So more details to come. But Bob Burris, rest in power. Impacted my life personally. Gonna miss you. And just what an amazing man. Thank you for all you did in the 19th Ward, and especially in the city of Rochester to truly make it a better place.
Absolutely. Whenever I was out of town, things happened. He always was right there with you guys and all the other young men, young boys in the community, girls as well. He always made sure everything was cool with the community and always encouraged the kids to play together and have a good time. And who could forget all the photos he taken at Halloween at the Anthony Street Block Club Halloween party. He's the guy that took the pictures and printed them right out on that Kodak machine and gave this sent so much joy to people. People this year when he wasn't there, they're like, "Hey, where's the guy at? Where's the guy with the camera? He's not here this year." And we said, "No, and we tried to say he's under the weather. If you could say some prayers for him, it'd be great." And a lot of people said, "We sure are," because it meant so much to them just receiving that photo from him each year at the Halloween Anthony Street Block Club. That was one of the things that he volunteered to do, and he did it each for so many years, double-digit years. Bob Burris made Rochester a much better place to live. And then also last night, I just got word from our church secretary at Memorial AME Zion Church that Edward Stone Jr. made his transition earlier yesterday. Edward Stone Jr., excellent photographer as well, a good guy. Stone, that brother could dress, wear the shades and everything, look so cool at the Jazz Fest and around town at other events. Another nice person that Rochester will miss. Both of these men made Rochester, New York such a much better place to live.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yes,
Hey, we got to run. Go ahead, Baxter. We
appreciate you guys, man. Real Deal Sports Show, the Fanatic, the Rad Man, as well as J-GILLZ. Y'all hold it down, man, and continue to rep Real Deal Sports and continue to talk sports of all sorts, fellas.
You know it, man. Appreciate you, Baxter. Appreciate everybody listening.
No doubt. Keep it where you need it, Rock City. We'll be right back with the Back of Time Mix Show on the Beat 105.5.